Okay, let's look at an example of the winner's curse. Here's the question for you. You win Super Bowl tickets. Your favorite team is playing, but someone asks to buy them from you. Put a price on these tickets, and how much do you want? So as you're putting a price on these tickets, you think to yourself, well, I'd really like to go to the game. They're very valuable, I know. I don't know, maybe I don't want to sell them at all. If I do want to sell them, I probably have a fairly high price. But if you spin that to the opposite direction, if instead you have the opportunity to buy Super Bowl tickets, what would you pay? Would you pay the same amount if you had won them that you would put as a price to sell them? So typically people have different numbers, but that's not rational. The value to you should be the same. The problem is in one case, you have won them, which means you put no effort or work into them. So their value to you might be high, and you really want to go because not only do you get to go to the game, but you get to go to the game without putting the work and effort into it. If you had to go to the game and put your work and effort into it, you would think, oh gosh, I don't really want to spend those many hours doing that. It doesn't seem rational to have two different numbers, but we often do. So it's very important to, when you're thinking of the winner's curse, to think about what number and what value do you put on any item or any situation that is being auctioned or bid on. Do not, if to offset, do not overpaying. You simply set a number, and once you've got that number in it, don't vary from it. Easier said than done. It's simple but not easy. So here's some questions to ask. How does this apply to auctions or bidding in general? So the easy thing is, the first thing you have to recognize is this an auction, a bid, or a negotiation? Once you recognize that that's the case, now you have a new set of rules and a new set of questions to ask yourself, so you apply different rules based on the situation you're in. Secondly, how do you overcome it? Well, it's simple. You put an intrinsic value on it and don't go past it. What about eBay? Well, people have minimums on eBay. They buy and sell things on eBay all the time. Obviously, selling things on eBay is better for you than buying things on eBay, but nevertheless, eBay definitely is something that you can apply some of these behavioral financial concepts to. What about the job market? So in the job market, you could apply this to having, if you're hiring people, have multiple people that could do the job, and that will give you an advantage in which one you're hiring. You can ask them to do more things. You can push them to a little bit more in salary and benefits, etc., because there are multiple people who want the job. And obviously, there are different times in the economy where people will take jobs for much less than they normally would because they need a job. And conversely, there are times when everybody's employed and everybody's happy where you have to really pay up to get reasonable talent. In addition to that, from your perspective in getting a job, you want to have multiple job offers coming to you. So typically, most people say, and this is pretty good advice, is that when you want to get a job or move to a job, it's better to have a job when you are moving company to company than to be unemployed and looking for a job. You have much more leverage, and it's more helpful to you to already have a bid from your employer, and then they're bidding against that. They have to top that to get you, and they know that, as opposed to you being unemployed, which gives you fewer options. Also, in having to use this to take advantage of this in your own lives, I don't suggest you use any of these tricks to take advantage of this to manipulate people for your own gain. However, it is very important when you make decisions to not ignore the fact that you can be either taken advantage of or there is an advantage to be taken. So many companies in negotiations, of course, are going to take all the advantages they can, and as long as they're legal, of course, it's fair game. So when you use these techniques, remember you're looking for a competitive advantage in business and in life, but we don't want to turn them around just to manipulate and harm others. So the winner's curse is a very good example of something that can be applied in many, many situations. It's certainly something you should consider. Make sure you understand that you're in a negotiation or a bidding or an auction type situation. And once you do, the rules change a little bit on how you want to approach things. If you're a buyer or a seller, the rules are a little bit different, and you have to be cautious of what values are actually being put on it, because our emotions can definitely lead us astray.